What it is, people. So there we have it. Chelsea win their first two games of the season. Arsenal lose their first two games of the season. And you have to give credit where credit's due. This was a game where two managers, new to their clubs, was bringing in a new philosophy. And it's really down to show the temperament and the discipline of the players to move that system forward. And honestly, Arsenal in the first half, I mean, it all started when I saw the team sheet. The team sheet was just nothing that I predicted it would be, except for Iwobi. I did say Iwobi showed a lot of defensive qualities when we did well at Stamford Bridge before, which ended up in a 0-0 draw, although Ramsey should have given us 3 points there. But we started with him, and he played well. He was solid. And that showed some type of thought in terms of what Unai Emery was trying to do. But the overall makeup starts with the team sheet, and the team sheet was wrong. We didn't play two up front. We didn't play three holding. So there was no help or cover for the defence. And time again, Chelsea went in on the back line and exploited what we were doing. How this works is, what happens when you have a high pressing game, if your wing backs are not disciplined enough to get back into shape, then they'll just get caught out. It happened with the second goal last week against City, and today it showed again where Arsenal were getting hurt in terms of losing the ball high up the field, Chelsea using the flanks just like Man City did last week, and putting in crosses that was just hurting the back line because there was just not enough amount of backtracking that you'd like to see from the likes of Bellerin. Monreal hadn't played for a long time, so asking him to come out and have an A game was probably a bit too much. At the end of the day, most of the damage was done with splitting the centre halves. A lot of passes coming through the midfield, split the defence that Arsenal had, and we were just getting caught out in the first half time and time again. In fairness to Cech, he made 3 or 4 fantastic saves throughout the whole game, 3 of them with his feet. So anyone who thinks that he's over the hill, better go and watch this game. It tells you a lot about why Cech is the number one goalkeeper. And poor signings. Everybody likes the signings that we made over summer. I think that's the consensus here. We're happy with who we brought in. But we're not playing them. We're not playing these guys. We went out and spent 76 million. Leno is on the bench. Torreira's not starting. We're still playing the same system in the same way with the same players making the same mistakes. Xhaka, I'm so happy they took him off. I mean, it's refreshing to see a manager who can make half-time adjustments. Lacazette, when he came on, yes, he was at fault for the second goal, but it doesn't discount the impact he made going forward. We started moving the ball better. We started having more options and more width, comes from that. We all know how it works. The fact of the matter is, we didn't start the game this way. So you're getting yourself into a hole again just to climb out of. And at some point, we're going to have to work on that starting sheet. The trust that Unai Emery has in his players is just going to have to speak for itself, because the people who he's choosing, who are starting the games to do a job, just aren't getting it done. Just not getting it done. So in terms of the signings, a lot of them are on the bench. They're not on the field. So we've got the same players making the same mistakes under Arsene Wenger, doing the same thing with the new boss. That is going to look after itself. Trust me. And we have to ask a question at that point now, where do we have sufficient calibre to improve the overall starting quality of our first 11? That's the first question. Because, I get that Torreira's only been in practice for 3 weeks. He's only just come back from a break. So when he didn't start, yeah, I get it. But he has to start against West Ham. And when he starts, who's going to make way? You know, I talked about the perfect midfield being Ramsey, Guendouzi, and Torreira. But for some reason, like Wenger, he's still finding ways to play Xhaka, who's just not doing what he's supposed to be doing, is not carrying his weight. So that's going to have to look after themselves. And these lessons, how many more of them do you have to learn before you make a change? That's where I'm going to judge Unai Emery on in his first 3 months. Yeah, let's see what happens in the first 10 games. Are you learning from the teething mistakes that Arsenal are having? The high pressure game that we're using, City took advantage of it in the first half of last week's game. And Chelsea, I did mention this before, they looked at footage, and what did they do? Came out and did exactly the same thing as I thought they were going to do. And any good managed team will do the same thing. Arsenal did adjust to it at half time, which was really good to see. We started spreading the ball out wide, started to hold back possession slightly, get more touches on the ball rather than just try and bomb forward and then lose possession again. And that's a difficult thing, because if you get forward quickly enough, yes, you can catch them out on the counter. But if Chelsea are backtracking very quickly, then you yourself have to pull back in order to keep possession. The longer you have the ball, the less chance the other team have got to score. And we kind of seen a little bit in that today. But you know, we're playing this high pressure system against two quality teams. Make no mistake. You know, no point in us moaning about it. What we've implemented, we don't have the players to pull off what's actually going on, and it's still early doors. And all this is happening while you're playing top 6 teams. Yeah, it's a big ask. It's a big ask. But guys, this is the team that let in 51 goals last season. 51 goals. It's this. Let's not forget what the problem is. Let's not forget. There is a problem there. You can't wish it away. Players' mentalities have to change. But all credit to Chelsea. Their frailties showed up, but also their quality did as well. When Hazard came on, he changed the game. He's a world quality star. There's no doubting his ability. And when he came on, it just brought everything into play for the other players around him. Alonso, Giroud came on, had some nice touches up front. But overall, Hazard, it was his show and he did what he needed to do. And Arsenal really didn't have an answer for it. Bellerin, who I thought played well for the first hour, was exposed. In fact, I was calling for Lichtsteiner to come on when Hazard came on, because that would have brought some experience into the fray. It didn't happen. So, yeah, guys, at the end of the day, this Arsenal team from last year was crying out for a change. We have changed now. We just have to adapt to these changes. And we got to take that on board. The word adapt. We are adapting. We haven't adapted. So patience is needed from the players and the manager and the fan base. It's going to be rough, but we've got to get 3 points against West Ham, because right now we're sitting in 17th place. West Ham's below us. But we got to come out next Saturday and get this done. Overall, I'm disappointed, yes. Let down by the team sheet, and everything from there had a domino effect. Had we come out with a stronger understanding of what we need to do with our formation, and then with our tactics, things I think would have been better. The goal issue is, in 2017 we averaged 2.09 goals a game. Last year 1.79, so we're scoring less goals. And here we are 2 weeks into the season and our strikers haven't got off the mark yet. So, actually, striker, as in Aubameyang, hasn't got off the mark yet. 13 goals in 10 games last season. This season, 0 for 2. And the misses were horrendous. Oh my God. Yeah, the miss from Aubameyang, Iwobi and Mkhitaryan could have easily seen this game swing either side. But guys, don't take it to heart. let's take this on the chin. A loss is a loss. Well done to Chelsea, and we move on to next week. Like and subscribe, and peace out. Let's do this, man. Let's get behind this team. Let's do it.